Subscribe now. EU Debates.
I think our role as a inquiry committee is to make sure that all the facts become publicly known, that we investigate the situation, but also to come up with conclusions and recommendations, and in the end European legislation to make sure that governments in the European Union cannot abuse this kind of software in the future. And I think that is what our mandate is, and this is what we will do. On your question whether Poland is a free democratic country with the rule of law, if you look at all the information we have received in the past 48 hours, of course we know that there is a rule of law crisis in Poland. We have plenty of European Court of Justice rulings that confirm this. We have the European Commission that has confirmed this on many levels. We have basically the Polish government itself confirming this by agreeing to the milestones of the European Commission. But knowing all this in the past 48 hours, I am more worried than I was before I arrived in Warsaw, because there seems to really be a deliberate mechanism to dismantle checks and balances, to dismantle the rule of law in order to serve political power. And in that sense, I'm more concerned now than I was on Monday upon arriving in Warsaw.
I think I can repeat what I said in my introduction. It's very clear that spyware here is not being used in a legitimate way for the security, the protection of citizens. It's used as a political tool for an authoritarian agenda. Because when we talked earlier about the violation of fundamental rights, it's not just the privacy of individuals that has been violated. It's not just that they're being spied upon because the government is terribly interested in their private lives. The thing is that spyware is, by those governments who are abusing it, is used to collect information on a person in order to have power over that person, to blackmail a person, to intimidate, to maybe distort the information, plant false evidence in order to accuse somebody, to discredit somebody. And that is actually, I think, the worst part, and that's also the biggest risk. And the thing is that I'm very pleased that the Commission has announced that they're going to launch a media, or they have launched the Media Freedom Act. We'll start working on it now, and it contains a clause that bans the use of spyware on journalists. And okay, that's great, but I think everything that is happening now in those countries, including Poland, where spyware is being abused, is already illegal, and I think the Commission could already use existing legislation to tackle it. And I think the Commission should be a lot more active, because this affects not only Polish democracy, it affects democracy of the European Union as a whole. Because also think about evidence obtained with spyware used by secret services, for example. I hear that the law has been changed in such a way that evidence obtained in that way can be used. Well, I don't think it can be used in any other country in the European Union in this way. What does that mean for police and justice cooperation in the European Union? So if you're talking about security, this is actually weakening the security of Polish citizens, not strengthening it.